T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
LadyChann! Fight!
Yo, hey girl, it's LadyChann, rep nonetheless, and welcome to Combox with Chan. It is the weekly wrap-up shiggity show. Okay, so gotta get you out. You've been a little too involved there. Ring light, hang on. Yeah, there we go. No glare on the screen. Hi guys, hope you have been well. Oh mate, I had to get rest. I've been so tired. I've been tired. Come on, get on here. Okay, let's get this caption going. Yeah, so I hope you guys, man, we've got a lot to chop up. Hang on, let me just get this banners, so social media, cash apps, etc., etc., etc. And then, okay. Those that are not members of this channel, I urge you to switch and go onto my main page, click the membership. Moderators, you should get the links to my join. We'll have a special guest on with chopping it up as well. Journal, but we shall start. Kenny Ken is not in the building. He's on a family holiday in France. Remember, he did tell us. I spoke to him and he sends all his love to you guys. So this is okay. Anthony Joshua still doesn't have the right team because there's rumblings that there was. I've read a couple articles, one by Gareth A. Davies, seeming to say that he doesn't want to spill the beans while spilling the beans, that there seems to be some unrest in the Robert Garcia camp with AJ, that there wasn't entirely seeing eye to eye, and that Robert Garcia tried to implement too many things in 8 weeks. I don't know how valid that is. I think let me take these off. I don't know how valid that is, but Gareth A. Davies says that's his source. Anthony Joshua still doesn't. That's what I had. So still doesn't. I'm going to drop the link in a minute. Still doesn't have the right team. The right team. OLEKSANDR USYK. He was seen at the airport. He was getting the hell out of Dodge. He was like, Saudi, see you later. Got my belts, bringing him back. USYK. Okay. The weekly wrap-up show. The weekly wrap-up show. Okay. A wrap-up show. Nearly there, guys. Okay. There we go. Okay. I'm reloaded. Look at me. Let me get some lip gloss and all right. Let's put the link I'll say hello to y'all because you lot are clearly in the building. So we have my sister Lisa Bales in the building. Roland Curtis in the building. Yeah, Dino, I can't say your surname. Dino G in the building. Like and can you subscribe? Can you all hit the like button? Big Boys Boxing in the building. Let me just do something real quick. Put that link in. Okay. Tell you what I'm gonna do. Paste. Link is there. There's something I need to do. What do I need to do? Hang on. Let me go on here. So yeah, we're gonna chop it up about what's going on in team. AJ suffered his third loss and his second loss to the same person. No shame in the game. I think he done a great account, to be honest. Better than last time. Pros and cons. People getting at him, you know, the losers, you know, that want to be getting at him for what reason, I know not. It's just that the fact that you really just don't like the man, which is quite sad, to be fair. Okay, I'm going to. Okay, I'm just doing a couple of. Subscribe. You're gonna have to subscribe for about 10 minutes before you can say anything. How about that? Save. Cool. All right, we in the building. Let's go back to that page. Okay. So, I'm introducing, introducing, introducing. Swab and Lisa Bales in the building. Ding, 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 ding.
Hey.
Hey, hi guys.
Hi.
Hello,
how you doing?
LadyChann. Hello, sister. How are you, Lisa Bells? How you doing? You alright?
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good.
What's happening?
Yeah. Just chilling. It's raining a little bit. It's thundering and lightning.
So, I just want to say, before the fight, how was the feeling? Nervous, anxious? How were you feeling, LadyChann and then Lisa? I want to know. Was I the only one shitting my balls off? Literally,
I was
like
anxious.
I thought I was gonna get a heart attack. I swear that that's how nervous I was.
I was anxious. Yeah, I was anxious, but excited. And honestly, I was looking forward to it. But yeah, it's always an anxiety when AJ fights because you know why? Because he's always going up against people that you know. He fights tough level of competition, so you're always like, oh, this one could be a tough one. He's never really fights any like he don't fight like hands or tune-ups. So you know,
Yes,
certain other boxers, you know that you know they're just going to beat that other person because their other person ain't even rated in the top 100. You know what I mean? So you're like, they're going to beat him. But with AJ,
exactly.
I thought,
I don't even want to talk about the haters. Fuck them, because either way, you just can't win with them. You just
yeah,
have to give a lot of respect for AJ for doing what he does. You know what I
yep,
mean? No shame. He lost to one of the best pound for pound, literally the pure definition of pound for pound king. Is
yep,
Alexander Usyk.
correct.
So there's no shame to lose it, and his performance was good.
Go ahead.
It was a great performance. Could have been better, not as we expected. Like
Mhm.
I think he started very slow again, up to round 5. He wasn't doing much. He was very like not throwing anything, and that's what was frustrating. Yeah,
Mhm.
can you hear me well?
Yeah, can hear
Yeah.
you.
Perfect. I just want, yeah, he wasn't throwing well. I think in the first 5 rounds. That's why he was main reason why I think he lost. And the last three after the ninth round, I don't know what happened because that was all age. It is what it is. I think we have to give credit to Usyk. He's not easy to hit. He's not easy to hit because all the time what I saw whenever AJ landed or he threw, Usyk came back with a counter punch, and I think Anthony Joshua had to reset. That's all. That's all it was in all this game. He had to reset because you can't find him. He's moving like a flipping. You know what I mean? I don't know what to say. What's he's moving like, but you can't find him
Mm-hmm.
anyway. He's flying like a bee. I think literally a definition of a fly or a bee. You're trying to whack him, he's not there. You're trying to whack him, he's not there. So that's what literally Usyk was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Shouts
so
out
that's
to
my
Mark.
Yeah.
take on it.
What up, Mark? What up, Doe? What
Hey,
up,
Mark. Hi, everybody.
Boxing? What up, Doe?
Hey,
Millennium
King
Jazz.
of King
What up,
Boxing.
Doe? Miss Ringside. What up, Doe?
Miss Ringside. Hey.
Yeah, we have Fight Score in the building. I use their app and they're always so nice to. I need to still sign up to that other one. Sorry, Fight Score in the building. What up, the link's in the chat, so those can step on. No Kenny Ken today. Kenny Ken is on a family holiday. Remember, he said I spoke to him earlier. He's in the south of France or something. He's in France, so family holiday. He gave me his input. Like, people need to respect Anthony Joshua. He did very well, and people that are slagging him off basically are just like continued low life. So, because he's done so well for the sport of British boxing and boxing, and that's just a fact, and he deserves respect. That's Kenny. That's Kenny Ken.
Yeah. So, you asked, was I anxious? Yeah, I was anxious like before, because I just wanted it to be over to see the outcome, but I wasn't nervous or anything because this is boxing, anything can happen. So I've seen it all. The good with the bad, the bitter, the sweet in between. So I just wanted to know the outcome of the fight, and he did better. I felt like, but still, I felt like he had to learn how to walk. Like really walk him down and make the ring smaller. What's the word?
Cut the ring off.
Yeah, cut the ring off. Yes, and I get it that Usyk is slippery, all that he moves around, but like I was talking to OG yesterday, and he said the style that would be a nightmare for Usyk is a Joe Frazier type, a pressure type,
A Derek Chisora
relentless Yes, but Derek was just not as good as Joe and older. Yeah, where you won't let him breathe.
Can't let him breathe at all.
Right, exactly.
No.
And that's not really his style, more or less. Not like that. It has to be relentless pressure here.
Has to be. And I mean, I was listening back to the watch along show, sis, and if the clips that I'm gonna post are fucking hilarious of you and me, you would go, let them damn hands go.
Oh, I called him
before I
nigger.
break him. Before I break him. Like, sis.
I called him a nigger.
Oh, sis, I was dying.
It was terrible, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy, yeah.
I was dying. I was going,
yeah.
walk him down, yeah? And then he's going, look him down. And then I come back in, walk. We sounded like two.
Yeah. That's what you gotta do.
Exactly,
That's what I used to do back in the day. I used to be like, get him.
Yeah.
You don't understand. I think my wife was sleeping, My wife was sitting next
Wait,
door. I was
yeah.
screaming my lungs out. She thought she come. She goes, "What's happening? Why are you screaming so loud?" I was like, "I'm pissed off. AJ's not like he's not doing what he told us that he was gonna do. Like we've been
Yup.
saying it the whole week since the 11 months since that last
Yeah.
fight ended. We were saying he needs to fucking manhandle him. He needs to pressure him. He needs to let them hands go. Don't let him breathe."
Yup.
And then it's just because all that frustration is coming out because he knows what to
Yeah.
do, and like we are expecting that from him
Right.
because that's what the coaches has been saying. That's what he's been
Yeah.
saying. That's what. So where did it go wrong? How was the fight so similar to the last
You gotta
one?
be dirty
Just
and nasty.
yeah, the fight was so similar to last one. Like what happened? How can you fight so similar even though it was a little bit better, but it wasn't still. It wasn't enough.
Yeah.
Because it hasn't all registered to the brain yet.
Yeah. This is what we're. Anyway, Fight Score is joined us for the first time. What up, Fight Score in the building?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can indeed. Thank you for joining me, sir. What up?
Hey, thank you very much for having me on. I appreciate it. It's good to be here.
Massively welcome. Tell everybody just a little bit about because I use Fight Score to score, you know, the fights and stuff. Give people a brief rundown about, you know, what you're about, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah, so it's basically it's an alternative scoring system for boxing matches. It basically allows users to create a detailed scorecard instead of just like a 10-9 score. So you're basically required to add a reason why you're giving the round to whichever person you're awarding it to, and you also can select how close the actual round was out of 100% basically. So if it's a close round, it might be 60-40 one way or the other, or it might be a more one-sided fight. And then basically with those kind of three things, you kind of get a more clearer and detailed scorecard at the end of it, basically. And I basically started it because I was fed up of the shite judging that we get constantly, and it was kind of an alternative, potentially implementable method of scoring fights if the boxing authorities wanted to actually make a change and make the sport better.
Great stuff. And also that you've got your YouTube, you set up a YouTube channel now, and where is that?
Yeah, if you just search for Fight Night Scores, that is our name on YouTube. So with that, we kind of watch and score previous fights from years gone by, and just usually the ones that are controversial or classic fights that are quite close. So we watch and score them and see how we compare to the judges and each other. Yeah, we're growing the audience, and it's good to get more people on board if they want to.
Yeah, yeah.
Can I just ask?
Fight Scores and subscribe. Go ahead, Sora.
Surely. So I just want to ask, first of all, good to meet you and good to have a chat. So as you, I think, I don't know you, but I'm just asking, you say, so I'm expecting that you're an expert in scoring or some sort of, or you give your own opinion. So I want to ask your opinion on this Usyk and Joshua fight, the second one. How did it go for you? What do you give it?
I scored it to Usyk. I think I had it 8-4 in rounds. And just to clarify, I'm not an expert scorer. I'm not a trained boxing official or anything like that. I'm just a fan. But I'm also a web developer, so that's why I created this system basically. I've been watching boxing for 15, 20 years or so. So I kind of got a good idea of what to look for when scoring. And I think that our system, with enough users scoring the bout, we have like an average scorecard. And I think that usually gives a pretty good indication of how a fight actually panned out. And it's a really good reflection.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
8-4.
Yeah,
I gave it. Yeah.
Go on. What did you give it? We're doing a point for the rewatch.
It was hard because being a little bit biased because being an AJ fan, it was a little bit biased. I didn't watch the fight again, but based on my memory again, I would say I gave it. There were a couple of swing rounds. Let's be fair. Let's be fair. Usyk wasn't to be honest, wasn't doing much. Oh, he was doing, but
This Usyk wasn't as good as the last.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, he wasn't doing much. He was mainly just like
Still-
moving about, faffing about, like dancing, just like one. Like, I think you throw a jab and then he won't be there. So and then AJ was being tentative as well. Like AJ wasn't throwing at all, just like the last fight, except the middle rounds. So I give it 7-5 to Usyk, but I wouldn't, if it was a draw, I wouldn't complain.
Yeah.
A draw or 7-5 is fine.
So I'm doing a rewatch of it tomorrow. When we did the last fight, we did that as well. We did an immediate rewatch, and the first fight, just off the eye test, I think I had AJ winning maybe three rounds, three, maybe four, but I can't remember. I think it was three. And then this fight, when I was watching it, I think I had him definitely for, I want to say definitely, I think for 4 to 5 rounds. So I need to rewatch it and then I'll score it. I'll score it unbiasedly, as I always do. So yeah, so that's what I want to basically have a look at that, and we will be whoever wants to join me tomorrow and point score rewatch that fight. That's on the community tab, and we'll have a good old look of that. So, but so see, people are saying I had it 8-4, I had it 7-5. So basically, one judge, it was a split decision, and one judge had it
116, 112.
No, yeah, that was okay. For me, that was quite wide, but but I more agreed with the 115, 113. Now, listen, if that could have gone either way, the only reason why you could have put AJ winning that 7-5, I'm just going with that judge. They had probably that by the 10th round, they had to have that. AJ were neck and neck, and that the other 2 rounds was maybe that there was the 2 swing rounds they gave them to AJ, which gave AJ from 5 to 7. Or a judge could have done this, that they could have been neck and neck, gave 1 swing round to Usyk and 1 swing round to AJ, then that would have brought it as a draw. Or you could have did it as you give both swing rounds to Usyk, hence you get the 7-5, or you just give AJ 4 rounds what you thought you saw and 8 rounds to Usyk. So I was just I was trying to see where all of the angles of where the judge was coming, each of the judges were coming from. I mean, it's no shame that you lose to a pound for pound, king in a points decision. You go 24 rounds. Like I said, I want to say that they've already been talking, because I was talking to Mark Nash and he was like, basically it will take AJ. It took AJ 10 years to get into title contention, and it's going to take him a while now. They've already estimated it that he could fight the winner of Joseph Parker and Joe Joyce, which will bring him back into title contention within the next year.
Listen, hindsight is 2020.
That's what I was trying to say. I was trying to let Mark know that no, he doesn't go all the way. Like, it doesn't take him.
No chance. And we're talking about Anthony Joshua, darling.
Yeah,
we're talking about Anthony Joshua, darling. What are you talking about?
So all the boxing pundits have said, you know what, he'd be back. He can get the winner. Even Frank Warren was like, he can get the winner of Joe Joyce and Parker.
Exactly.
He
can
make so much money. So he's quite happy for that. So yeah, he can do that.
He can fight Hergovic for the IBF.
Look, y'all.
You can do Ergovic. You can do Ergovic. Hang on one second. Hang on, Shelton. He could do Ergovic. He could do Ergovic for the IBF as well. So yeah, there's many ways that he doesn't have to go all the way back to the beginning. Go ahead, Shelton.
Oh God.
These dudes just made $70 million each.
80.
No, 70. 50 million pounds.
He can fight whoever he wants to fight.
Mm-hmm.
He can fight anybody he wants to fight. He's not going to the back of any line. They haven't. If Usyk fights again, which he said, "quote If I can't get Fury, I'm not fighting." Once them titles go up, if he doesn't get the Fury fight, AJ gonna be right in the mix. AJ is the money man in boxing. He's gonna get another fight.
Facts. That's just a fact. That's just a fact. That's a fact. King of King Boxing in the building. Shouting more in the building. King
Can
of
I
King.
just say,
Shouting.
I just want to say this. Hindsight is 2020. In a way, this loss or these losses has just added more to Anthony Joshua's career, like more years onto Anthony Joshua's career. If you look at it, if Anthony Joshua won on Saturday, he would have went into the Fury fight 100%, 1 or 2 fights, and then that's it. He wouldn't have to do anything else. Now that he lost, now he has to rebuild again. I don't mind him. Go take 2 chill fights. Go fight Zhili Zhang in China. Go fight Hrgovic. Easy, I think easy fight. And in my opinion, this AJ will beat any other heavyweight without shadow of a doubt.
That's what they were saying. Even other top analysts, they was like, AJ, I don't know why people are trying to make it like he's still like that top 3 heavyweight in the world. So yeah, people that are counting him out. But do you know what? He's got a lot of love from the presser as well. And you know, people saw that he was human and stuff like that. It's like the people that was against him, even Eddie Hearn said, some people that was against him, like, you know, had to stand up and give him a round of applause, and now they're like with him. I've just seen like shouts out to Sam Jones, Joe Joyce's ex-manager.
Yeah, he's a legend.
Ledge. I'm going to try and get him on the show for sure. Shouts out to Eddie Hearn. Shouts out to, because Eddie Hearn's words were very heartfelt and nice words. Who else do I want to shout out? Spencer Oliver. But the thing is, which I thought that was a bit crazy, was the reason why I've got this caption up. It's about his team telling him, you're outboxing him. I know it was close in the beginning. You're winning every round. Did you hear Robert Garcia not give? Cause I don't. It just sounded.
I heard that.
It was like it was Rocky Kraken 2.0.
Well, see, in my opinion, Chan, the reason he lost that fight was his gas tank. No. He gassed after that 9th round.
No. Come on, stop it.
His punch output went down. He was outpunched from 9 to 12, something like 70 punches to 28.
He gassed out after the 9th round because the way he.
That's what I said. That's exactly what I said.
No.
Exactly
he gassed out after in the 10th round because of what he gave, and then 11th and 12th he was fine.
Even Evander Holyfield said. He said, because shouts out to Evander Holyfield, that gave AJ some really good credit as well. Evander Holyfield said, because someone tried to imply that, did AJ gas out? He went, no, he didn't gas out. You're going to get tired. I got tired in my fights. He didn't gas out. It's just that Usyk, just a quick mover. Like, you are going to be tired. But what people don't get is that he went 24 rounds with dude.
He did.
People in weight didn't even go 24 rounds. Some people like Tony Bellew, no disrespect, still they got knocked out by him. He went 24 rounds, and that's what he said. Most heavyweights that are his build are not really distant fighters, are they? Heavyweights don't. We're here to see knockouts with heavyweights. So I couldn't say that he gassed. Like, I would say, and even Evander Holyfield said, you know, even Usyk was tired. Like, Usyk was breathing quite heavy in this fight. I think, you know, because he's come from war and he's had less time to prepare. We saw that because I think the performance that Usyk was.
I think it was that body work, Chan. I think that body work had a lot to do with it. Yeah. AJ's body work had a lot to do with Usyk being tired.
But he just still had that mental fortitude to still. How he came out in that 10th round was just mad.
Man.
Like, he nearly got dropped. in the 9th round, and that's a fact. Unless I find footage and slow it down and to suggest that he didn't. But Usyk was in trouble in the 9th round. Yeah, King of King Boxing. What up, though? What you got to say? Thanks for joining me on that night as well, because we had a good old time, didn't we?
Yeah, we
King
did.
of King.
Yeah, we did. It was a great fight.
Where's King of
It was
King?
a great fight.
Oh, he chopped off. So yeah, it was a great fight. It was a great night of boxing. So I just think that I found him a bit tentative, not fully letting his hands go. Let me tell you a stat. Well, it's an approximation because I've Timothy Bradley. Oh yeah, shouts out to Timothy Bradley. Gave AJ massive amounts of credit, massive amounts. Timothy Bradley said that. Oh yeah, and Andre Ward. Timothy Bradley said that Usyk, in general, heavyweights throw in a whole fight about 300 to 350 punches in a fight. Usyk threw 725-ish.
Oh.
That's what welterweights throw. Little guys. That's how amazing that this guy threw over double what normal heavyweights throw.
Yeah, 700 punches in a fight. That's on Ali level. Ali used to throw like 600-700 punches a fight. That's fucking
but
amazing.
like AJ said, that Ali and them, they was only 175, 180 pounds.
Can you just talk about, like, especially what happened after the fight when the scorecard was read and then he got pissed off after he spoke to Lomachenko, because Lomachenko was telling him you did well, you boxed well, I think you were aligned, and then that's what I think pissed him off a bit. Lomachenko pissed him off. But listen, he's a human, man. Fucking you lot are calling him a robot, a corporate made fucking robot that all he say is be humble, be respectful. But then when he shows his emotions, even at the press conference, well, come on, bro. This fucking dickhead Tyson Fury, mental health fucking king. What happened, bro? How you kicking a man when he's down? Talking that bullshit. Come out of retirement and face Alexander Usyk. Let's see what you do. Fucking nuts.
Yeah. Lisa.
Yeah.
Fight score. Actually, let me hear from fight score. So you, what was your pros and cons with the fight or the performances? Did you see a difference in Usyk fight score?
I'm not sure if Usyk was all that much different. I think possibly that, like you touched on before, his preparation might not have been as ideal as previously. But I think Joshua was actually better. He put in a good performance. I think he'd made some decent adjustments. So I just don't think that he probably should have gone a little bit more for it. And I know that that's what a lot of people said beforehand that he should have done, but it was also risky in case he gassed out earlier. But I think it showed in that round 9, I think it was, when he had Usyk going with the body work and stuff. If he'd have done that a bit earlier, maybe he might have got the job done. But yeah, I think Usyk was kind of the same Usyk that we've seen over the years, and that's proven that why he's such a great and an all-time great probably in both cruiserweight and heavyweight boxing.
I'm not sure if he's an all-time great in heavyweight boxing, just having 3 fights. He's done great achievements. He's definitely an all-time great in cruiserweight boxing, but he hasn't been a career heavyweight. So, there's going to be people that if he gets undisputed, then you can put him as
the best of this era.
Yeah, I think it obviously, like, Holyfield had such a great era of heavyweights to compete against, was going in his favour, I guess.
Yeah, because people are so quick to throw around the term all-time great really quick, very prematurely. So I'm not quick to say that he's an all-time great in heavyweight boxing. Go ahead, Lisa.
Yeah. So what are we talking about now as far as after the fight? What happened?
What do you think about? Is he an ATG in heavyweight? Yeah.
No, because he hasn't had enough heavy. No, this is my opinion. I
Mhm.
mean, he hasn't fought enough heavyweights yet. He's only had 3 or 4 heavyweight fights, maybe. And he came from being undisputed. That was a great undisputed run that he had with the World Boxing Super Series. But the thing with Holyfield, like just say a Holyfield, that's Holyfield had a lot of Hall of Famers and ATGs that he fought and beat. That's the only difference. Yeah,
Yeah.
to me,
One sec.
that's just to me. And huh? What you say?
She has a call. You can carry on.
Oh, but yeah, me personally, I don't think he has enough fights, period, to be an ATG. If you want to, that's just me, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, and I would agree with you as well. Not all time great yet. We would have to see him. But if he fights Fury and he becomes undisputed in 4 fights, that's not his fault that he's walked through the division. You know, beating the best, the top best. You know
Right.
what I mean? Then he'd be the best of this era. Being an all-time great when you compare him with Muhammad Ali, Mike
He,
Tyson, Joe Louis, Sonny Liston.
he's
You know what I mean?
yeah,
I don't
he
know
still
about
got to
that,
fight
but
more. He
yeah,
still, to me, he would have to fight more people to be an ATG.
yeah,
He
he'd
would
be the
have to
best of
fight
this
other
era.
heavyweight.
Yeah,
He
he'd be the
doesn't just
best of
have.
this era.
He don't just have to fight Fury. I think he would have to fight other top
He ain't gonna
heavyweights.
do
That's
it.
just my opinion.
Yeah, he's 35-year-old. He's been through lots of
Then
wars.
how you gonna
Yeah,
compare him to the other greats? Then
yeah, I agree with you, Lisa. I
this is
agree
what
with
I'm
you.
saying. It makes no sense to me.
But
Now I could be
we
wrong. I
can
could be
say,
wrong.
yeah,
Who
yeah,
am I?
we can say, but one thing we can say, he's the best of this era, being the first undisputed since I think Lennox Lewis.
Right.
So he'd be the
Cause
best of
Yes.
this era.
He'd be 2 division undisputed. That would be amazing. That's massive.
yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, yeah. But I'm
I would love
talking
a
about
trilogy down the road. I would love I think
yeah.
AJ trilogy down the road.
But you
But
But he's
yeah.
getting on now. I don't think Usyk's sticking about. I think if he gets the Tyson Fury fight, and whatever the outcome is, that I think Usyk's out. And
Yeah, I
then
think that'll be it.
then the belts are fragmented. I mean,
I think that
Anthony
would be a two. Yeah, that would be a
would
2 fights.
become Anthony Joshua could become 3-time world heavyweight. You know, Joe Joyce could have a belt. You know, you're going to see it really mixed up once. I think Tyson Fury kind of leaves. To be honest, like,
How many times is he gonna leave, bro?
no, but
He
leaves. Like after this, I think there's no other fights.
you know,
He's
Fury is
gonna.
like that child, yeah. Yeah, Fury is like that child who just goes, I'm going outside, I'm going outside. I'm gonna go outside. He opens the door halfway. I'm going out. I'm walking out, I'm walking out, and then he comes back in. He's like, no, I'm not going. But then he goes again. Bro, make your fucking mind up, man. What are you doing? Are you staying or are you going?
No, but after if he does take this fight, there's not going to be.
Hmm.
You won't see him sticking around. I don't think
Yeah,
after
Fury's
that.
gonna be gone after. Of course, he ain't gonna fight. But you never know, man. He's a greedy bastard. He will fight Anthony Joshua. That's one fight. No, regardless of what happens, we have to see that fight.
He's
Joshua
still
and I
young.
think
He's still
Fury.
young,
Yes,
Fury.
but bro, he's only 33. Him and AJ are literally the same age.
Fury's 33. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
he's still
think that
young.
I think it depends if Fury does fight Usyk. I think if he loses, then he'll probably call it a day, potentially. And then if he wins, then he'll entice AJ for that super fight. I mean, maybe he gets bored after a year and then he decides he got to come back and fight AJ anyway, even if he lost. But I think
Yeah,
potentially it could be their last fight, Usyk and Fury, if they did fight for the undisputed title.
yeah. One thing I have to rate is Julius. He made a video that I just watched recently. He called Tyson Fury a bandit. He goes, "You come 1 2 years, You can't fuck about with the people and I think the fans, and then you fuck off again, and then you come back and then you fuck off again. So you can't really see him as, you know what I mean, like a proper champion. He only had one defense against, oh, two defense, one against Wilder and one against White. How many did Anthony Joshua have? Bro, Wilder has more defenses, regardless of who he had it with. He had 10 defenses.
Who?
Yeah, see,
Wilder.
I
Wilder.
don't know how to. Yeah, see, I don't know how it works. Like, how to be, what constitutes being a Hall of Famer. I know some of the criteria or ATG. Like, it's some people. Yeah, you know the ATGs. It's just pretty like obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to ask everyone, say the Fury and Usyk fight thing happens. How do you see that fight going? I see it as a 50-50 because one thing you have to rate about Fury is he fucking pressures his people. He puts his weights. He's a bully.
Yeah.
And I think that's what will make him
But
win
yeah,
the fight against Usyk.
Tyson Fury against him. I think Usyk beats Fury. I know people like, but Fury's massive. I could edge it. I'm only going to edge it to Usyk. I just think he's too quick. He's too slippery. Tyson Fury is quick and nimble, but he's not as nimble as Usyk. And his IQ, they've both got great IQs, but I just feel that OLEKSANDR USYK's IQ is better. He's seen probably not a million Tyson Furies because who has? Because you know he's 6'9" and he's an anomaly in itself. But I mean, definitely, I've got Usyk winning that one for some reason. I just feel it in my bones.
I would just say 50-50. We'll find out on the night when it happens. It can happen either way. Fury, you know what I mean, just out-muscle him, just do what Anthony Joshua was meant to do. I'll hustle him, you know what I mean, be aggressive, and you know what I mean. And I think Fury can do that. He can do both. He can outbox him. He can keep him out on the jab and not let him come in. But like we say again, Usyk is a fucking. He's a fly. He's too quick. You're not gonna find him there.
He never lets himself
How
get
do you
back
see
up onto the
Usyk winning,
ropes.
though? Yeah, how do you see Usyk winning? Do you see him coming in? Because obviously the reach is like very 6'3" or 6'4" versus a 6'9". That's 5 inches that difference. That's a lot. The Fury just have to keep him out. You know what I mean?
He beat Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce is taller than Joshua just by a bit as well.
Yeah, that was in the semi-pros. We were talking about heavy.
Doesn't matter. He was still. They were still. Joe Joyce was still 6'6.5". Usyk used to fighting big guys.
Yeah, as much as I hate Fury, he has a 50-50 chance against Usyk. So it's very hard to pick in that one if it happens.
Yeah.
And how much money does he want for that fight?
Don't know. I'm not even speaking about it because it's not.
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
It may happen. I think Fury may give some pull and stick his feet firmly in the ground for a bit. But yeah, I'm not gonna go in depth discussing it if it's I believe so as well. Tyson Fury is too slow for Usyk. Usyk's the type of guy that would punch Fury in all angles until he either gives up or gets KO'd. No, I don't think Usyk can KO Tyson Fury. Other than that, the fight would be boring and go the distance. Yeah, I could see that Usyk wasn't confident enough to get the knockout for Anthony Joshua. I realised I don't think he could. He could, and he needed to outpoint. That was his way. That's Usyk's strength. Is outpointing. If he could have knocked out Joshua, he would have. It was more likely that Joshua has got the power to knock him out, and then those body shots, like Shelton said, was the whoa. I think that we saw him start to slow down in the latter rounds, and then he just got this second wind, mate. He said he looked at Anthony Joshua in the 8th round. He looked in Anthony Joshua's eyes, and he could see victory in Anthony Joshua's eyes. What is that noise? I can't take it. I'm wearing headphones. Sounds like cars going by. We just need to have clear audio. It's horrible when people have to listen to it back. And he could
You
hear.
still
And
hear it?
no. And he could
Okay.
see Victor. Yes. Yes. He said he could hear. He could see victory in his eyes, and that's what made him think, right, I got to get this going. And then the 9th round happened, and he nearly got dropped. And then, for some reason, in the 10th round, in the after the 9th round in the corner, he basically prayed and was saying prayers, and then came out in the 10th round, bat out of hell, mate. And yeah, he won all of those. He won the 10th, 11th, and the 12th. He definitely won the 10th.
Yeah, that just shows, you know, what I mean, what faith can do for a person, a belief can do for a person. You know what I
Yeah,
mean, he probably went into the corner, like his eyes closed, thinking about his people in Ukraine, praying to God. He has to do it. So, hey, whatever happened happens for a reason. The best man won on the night, and well done to Usyk. He
yeah,
is the current number one, in my opinion. Fury number two. So these two motherfuckers have to go, and we want an undisputed champion. I wanted personally, I would love it if it was AJ and White, but hey, could have happened if fucking White did enough. You know what I mean,
All
White.
right,
This is what I mean. Right.
wait. Let me just get my guest on. It's we're going. I'm introducing, do 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 do, introducing, do 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 do, introducing, introducing. The number one, soon Hall of Famer. We all will be proclaiming him. It's the Rick Glazier. What up, though, Rick? Let's get us all on together. Hi, Rick. I was saying, like, where are you? Sorry. I didn't realize the time, and I had you like there, and I was like, oh, maybe Rick's just there for it because he's hanging a bit early. And then I looked at the time, and then you'd gone. I'm like, Rick. Hi, Mr. Glazier. I can't hear you. Rick.
Couldn't
Maybe
have
it's
said any better.
yeah.
I agree with what you said. Amazing point.
So, yeah. I just think I don't know where this undisputed is going to happen. They're going to try and do it for next year. I heard they're supposedly in talks, but I don't know.
Eddie Hearn is
I
out
heard
of
it
it
was
now,
gonna be
isn't
in.
he?
I saw somewhere it's gonna be in Saudi Arabia, possibly.
Well, let's see. Well, the only people that can pay Fury is Saudi Arabia. He can't go to America.
Yeah, and that's if the Saudis really want it. And you know, the link is usually Eddie, but unless they go and want to do business with Frank Warren, Eddie Hearn. I mean, Frank Warren and Bob Arum aren't in contract with Fury anymore, though. That's the thing. The
Yeah,
last
that's what
fight.
I'm saying. And neither is Usyk with Eddie. So where do we go from here? So can Eddie Hearn, you know, speak to Alex Krasuk for because what he done for Usyk? Maybe lock him in for one more fight and guarantee him that he can get Fury in, because Fury was willing to, you know what I mean, to go into the Anthony Joshua fight in last year August. He spoke to Prince Khalid and everything, so you never know.
Yeah,
I don't
well,
know.
they really want to do business with someone that's given them the runaround like that. Guys, who's can you press the like, please? And also, really, you're lucky I may move this to members only in a minute. Once Rick comes on, I may move this to members only. I don't know why you lot don't join. you miss out. The people that's on the panel will be okay, but I mean, if you're not a member, mate, if you're not a member, contender, I'll be competitor, whatever. Big up exclusive news insider in the building. What up, exclusive? Long time no see. I haven't seen you for ages. Yeah, Shelton, you had a call. Shelton's always got a call. Big Billy. Locke. What up, Locke? Who's that banging? What are you lot doing to my ears? Who's doing that? Jeez.
I'm on mute, so I don't know who it is.
Someone's going bling, bling, bling. Like they're who is that?
I'm muted as well.
Apologies. I was playing with my ring.
Oh, it's you.
Oh,
Stop.
normally I got AirPods in. I like AirPods normally like they had the echo and shit. So the AirPods are quite good. My apologies.
Yes, all right. Thinking, what y'all doing? I'm just looking through the chat. So what are we saying about Robert Garcia? We'll wait for Rick in a minute to come back. What are we saying about Robert Garcia as he implemented and after AJ? What he was saying in the corner? I'm not sure if it was all I saw. I'm not sure if I saw was Angel giving corner instructions as well. I saw Robert Garcia.
Yeah,
I think
both of them were
was it both? Yeah, see, that's why.
confusing, man.
Yeah, that's why when he was asked coming up to the run up about who's the head trainer, I didn't like the answer when he was like,
just let them figure it out between them two. No ego.
Yeah, no egos. There's that's a load of bullshit.
That's like having two chefs in the kitchen. Don't work like that. Two head chefs in the kitchen. It doesn't work. One would say put more salt. One would say put less salt. So what are you gonna do?
Exactly. From then I was like,
Yeah.
And then also, someone made a point that I saw. They said that basically AJ was talking about knockouts, and then kind of like 2 days before the fight, he kind of started to talk about going the distance, and that's when I was like, because at times in this fight, I saw him again going into trying to box the boxer, and all you have to do is balls to the wall, and it was just Operation Walk Him Down.
Yeah, there's a funny thing when it comes like because I'm Muslim and we normally it's sad where it has come to because normally when you tell someone, bro, can you do this for me? Inshallah, bro. So that means never. That's what Anthony Joshua said. You want a knockout? Inshallah. So that's what it is. He goes, if God wills, bro, you need to do it. He said it, so now you have to do it.
Willing,
Wow.
yeah. You got to
God
do it.
willing.
Yeah.
Inshallah. If someone asked, bro, can you drive me today? I said, Inshallah, we'll see.
If I'm alive.
That's what it's doing. Yeah, if I'm alive, I'll do it. That's what literally came through.
Yeah, you need a head trainer one and an experienced one. At the level that you're at, that guy is, no disrespect to him, you need that's just my opinion.
Yeah,
I'm not here to tell people what they should do because it's their business at the end of the day and their decision. But at that level, you need a old school, experienced trainer.
Yeah.
Can we talk about AJ's future from now on from here? So what happens? What does he do? Does he stay with Angel Fernandez? Does he stay with Robert Garcia? Or is it just first his first fight with Robert Garcia, have a couple more with him, or just keep Angel Fernandez as his head coach? Because obviously you like him so much, you don't want to let go of him. You let go of Robert McCracken, so I'm sure you can let go of Robert Garcia and keep Angel Fernandez and keep him your head trainer.
King of King Boxing just became a member. Yeah. Thank you very much. This is my impersonation of you. Thank you very much. Your voice. Thank you, King of King Boxing. In the build. You dropped off the panel, by the way. Maybe you had to, get to do what you was doing. So I know you'll be back on. I don't know. I don't think Angel Fernandez is the one, in my opinion. Anyway, he's just nobody knows him. I've asked around. Nobody knows him. He has no resume. That's it. Like, check.
I don't understand that.
Oh, I went down. Yeah, I did actually see him talking. So, I don't know. I think he needs to go. I got to the point where I was like, all right, if AJ's happy with Garcia and he's found someone that he can gel with, then cool. In my opinion, it was always a gamble. It was always a gamble because of the fact that he'd never trained heavyweights. So, then you can't come in the ring and say, they're 14 stone, I'm 18 stone, I'm a heavyweight, like super heavyweight. I can't throw them many punches. Well, then why did you get a coach that
trainer.
trains guys that can throw 725 punches in a whole fight and 200 punches, 100 punches around?
I would request, if I see Anthony Joshua anywhere, please go with Shane McGuigan. I beg you, go with Shane McGuigan because he's one good flipping. He's young. You know what I mean? You gel with him.
Nah. He needs to go for an old school American coach. Forget the Shane McGuigan. Old school American proper coach.
Who would you suggest? What, Ronnie Shields? Look what he did with Govic.
Any doesn't have to be Ronnie. Any just look around. Just look around. I don't know if Shane McGuigan is the guy. Shane McGuigan was actually rude on Twitter about him, actually, and so was his dad. Barry McGuigan was even ruder.
I would say who's that? Ruiz trainer against him. You know what I mean? When he was fighting Joshua, forgot his name. Manny Robles. I think he would be good for him. Manny Robles is a good trainer.
Mr. Bashir.
Ali Bashir.
Yeah.
Do you think at this stage of his career, he needs someone that's just more of a motivational type of coach? Because it's not like you can teach him anything new.
No, they can, man.
He can be taught new stuff.
Yeah, man, he can be taught. He can be taught to flip and use his size and become, be that aggressive flipping person he was.
Yeah, he's only 32. He's not 33. He's 33. He's only 32. Of course, he can learn new stuff.
33 is that cut-off point.
Yeah, but I mean, the bulk of the stuff that I told you what he may not ever learn is to get his head off the line. He needs to keep his head. AJ's not got good head movement. That is always a problem because that's why Usyk would catch him sometimes with the same shots but he didn't react to the feints a lot, AJ. But the head movement has to be continuous. If you don't want to keep moving your head, like, you're gonna have to keep a jab in someone's face so they can't even get to your head. It's one or the other. You can't have a static head, keep your head on the line, and allow someone to be able to still be able to score on you. Like, you can't. It's do you know what I mean? And that's a thing that I see with AJ, that he doesn't keep his head always on the line. King of King Boxing, thank you for coming a member. You back in the building. What would you like to say, sir?
Hey, how you doing? How's everybody doing? Enjoying my new membership. That's what's up.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Thanks.
Welcome.
Yeah. What we chopped it up. We had a good time the other night. So thank you as well. Yeah, I've just let things marinate. And how many rounds did you, because King of King Boxing, by the way, he actually had the spot on prediction. He said Usyk's gonna win split decision. Shouts out to you.
Yeah, that's what's up. Hey, the crazy part is I was scoring heavy towards AJ at the beginning. I was thinking to myself, like, you just gave AJ the first 3 rounds, but
yeah,
I don't feel like I knew what Usyk was doing. He was trying to drag him later into the fight. So that I was like, I felt like, let's put it like this: if that was American judge and Anthony Joshua was a pressure fighter that was coming on front foot like that, they would have gave him them first 3 rounds. You know what I mean? Because Usyk was moving around quite a bit. But as time went on, like I said, Usyk started picking up. Usyk's whole game plan was to drag him later into the fight. It was obvious. Like, that's like literally he was just trying to move, dodge, thinking that AJ was going to gas out. AJ was pacing himself. And that's why, he did look strong later in the fight, but it's just he didn't do enough. He had to let his hands go. I put it like this. I heard somebody make a good point about AJ. For some reason, when the thing that the loss to Andy Ruiz, what it did to AJ wasn't, it's not even about confidence. It's just, I think it even altered his fighting style, because every time prior years, like when he got into it with Dylan White, Klitschko, when he got hurt, he came back fighting. Like he came back throwing it, like recklessly going for it. Like he was not going to allow himself to be dominated. And ever since then, and like I said, that's only like 4 or 5, a few, like 3 or 4 fights ago. It's just like I just don't see it no more. Like he gets into engagements and he doesn't go for it like I used to see him do. And I don't know, I don't even necessarily know if he was worried about that, because Usyk was hitting with clean shots, but I didn't see AJ dazed at any time. He kept coming forward, but it just, he wasn't doing it well. Like you said, his head, he's on the center line.
Yeah.
There was times where it's like literally he was swinging and Usyk was on the far left side of him looking at him swinging. I'm like, damn, like he didn't bend, move down. It's like you're cranking it up. Oh, like I say, even during when we watching the fight, I think he got admonished for a low blow. I was like, shit, man, go hit him in the nuts again. I'm like, hit him lower this time. Get nasty with this guy, because he's trying to be cute. And like I said, when AJ effectively was banging on that body, Usyk was hurt in the 9th round. Like, I mean, there was opportunities for him to win the fight. I just think like Robert Garcia, I think he needed to really let, like, people were talking about, Ronnie Shields, like, oh, look at Hope. But Ronnie Shields, the mannerism he had at the end of that fight was what Robert Garcia should have been a mannerism he had for AJ. He should have got it in his ass and said, hey, man, you are giving this shit away. You can beat this dude. Go get him.
Yeah.
And it just didn't happen.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So Rick's having some technical issues with his thingy, so mate, I don't know what's wrong. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry, sis. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, because this same thing happened in the other fight. So is this Angel Hernandez saying this? You're winning the fight.
Yeah.
Saying this because he need like you need a person in your corner. You're blowing it, son. You're blowing it. Like Angelo Dundee. No, you gotta tell them the truth. Don't tell them they winning when they're not.
This is a problem, that he's got people that seem to be yes men in them. No, the first a lot of people had AJ neck and neck, King of King, for the first 3. Like they had him up over Usyk. Like some people had him 3-1. Some people had it 3-2. Either way. Like so. Yeah. So
okay. So I wasn't completely crazy. I was giving them rounds to him. I thought AJ was effective. I liked it, his mannerism towards the beginning. He looked like he did what he like. It's a situation where you got to understand that, like he said, you're not a 12-round fighter. Okay, you got to understand that. So if you're not a 12-round fighter, you treat it like an 8-round fight. And at the end of the day, where you lose by decision or get knocked out, you lose. But if you say, hey, I went for it, and there was opportunities there too. Like, I could see it. Well, I was like,
off the gas.
Yeah, it just like I said, that is a trainer thing. Like, Robert Garcia, look, sometimes we seen it in the Bud fight when he was fighting Porter. Was Bud necessarily losing that fight? Maybe, maybe not. But his corner's like, hey, you losing this fight, you need to go do something. And he went out there and knocked him out. I mean, sometimes you got to hear that. You got to hear that you got to step on the gas. And you can't have a bunch of people telling you, oh, you're looking great. You're all the jet. Like, no, you're not looking great, bro. You need to do more.
Yeah, you need to do it. Yeah. Let me just do the super chat. Thanks, Zhu Wang. What about AJ's mental makeup or lack of? I don't know. I don't know.
We don't know him to answer that.
I don't understand the question. What about AJ's mental makeup or lack of? I don't know if he's got. I don't know. Sorry, I don't even know really what your question is. But thanks for the super chat. I don't know, mental makeup or lack of. I'm not his psychiatrist, so I have no clue. Our Money in the building. What up, Our Money? Our Money. What up? Yeah. So yeah, I just think there. Oh, did you hear about at King of King Boxing that there is rumbles about them not getting on in camp? Garcia and AJ. Did you hear that fight score as well?
About
Gareth and Daisies talked about
about
it.
them having some arguments in camp. Yeah, I
Yeah,
had
that
heard about
was a
that. I heard
completely
about like 2 weeks out that they
I heard
were.
about it like the day of when one of you guys said it, and someone said it on the panel when we was getting ready to watch it. And I was like, no, I haven't heard that. And then
I
I
haven't heard
looked
that
it
until
up.
now.
Yeah, then I googled it and it came up on different articles of Gareth A. Davies saying
Which was
some
weird because AJ's camp, even if they're having problems, they don't usually let shit like that out. So somebody nipped the bud, but like I don't know what kind of problems you would be having. I mean, because we can look at it two ways. Was he having problems with Garcia because Garcia wasn't teaching him something, or was
yeah.
Garcia having problems with him because he wasn't listening? So it's
Um,
like I don't know.
It was that what Gareth was saying was that there seemed to be too many, like they was trying to cram like too much in the 8-week camp, and it was like maybe overwhelming. That's what I heard. So it was like ruffling everyone's feathers. They're all getting ruffled. Like, no, I don't think. I know.
Well, that was my concern with Garcia coming anyway, because if you bring in a trainer, he needs to study what you do and then just emphasize one or two things and say, hey, this is what you need to concentrate on doing. Like, it's not like you got to rebuild AJ's fighting style. Like I said, there's a time period where I feel like AJ has some dog in him, where he, like, if he got hurt, like, we scrapping. Oh, Klitschko dropped me, I'm getting up, I'm about to knock you out with this uppercut. And it was just like, you have to hone him in to be confident. So at very least, maybe you teach him how to, like how Emmanuel Stewart did the Klitschko's. You teach them how to tuck their chin a little bit better so they don't susceptible to getting knocked out. That's really all. I mean, that's really much all he did was, okay, this how you avoid getting knocked out. So you get confidence in the point, and it wasn't like they were defensive genius. He just taught them how to not get hit, in a particular way that was going to force them to lose fights. That's what he should have been doing, teaching them like, okay, I need you to be busier, but don't be concerned with the blows. Like, you got a good chin. I seen him getting hit and he was walking through the shot. So it's not like he can't do it. So I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, it's quite a frustrating thing to try and work out. It's almost Twilight Zone. Another super chat here. 1 second. Al Money. Thanks, Al, for the $2 super chat for dropping that on your girl. Massively appreciated. Thank you very much. It's almost, I can't figure it out. I mean, because there wasn't any time in this fight that I thought, oops, AJ's in massive amounts of trouble. I mean, there was like a little, like, I saw that Usyk was a bit more different and in trouble when in that round 9 and throughout various other parts of the fight. I just don't get. I think Usyk's just great at ramping up the gears, like you said. He would take him into deep waters and ramp it up. But I think we do give credit for going 24 rounds with the dude. Damn. I mean, to go 24 rounds with someone that fights at such a pace and such a high input, you got to give credit where credit's due, because that's tiring for these super heavyweights. And that's why I'm saying, does Tyson Fury really outwork that? If Tyson Fury, you're gonna have to really walk him down and get him. Like, you're gonna have to. Maybe he can, because the sheer size of him. Because if Alexander Usyk's thrown 720 plus punches in a fight, that's fucking extreme, mate. That's a lot of fight. That's a lot of punches.
Well,
right?
the thing about Fury is he got the Emmanuel Stewart keys. He got that knowledge dripped out. Let's just think about the several last dominant heavyweights. They all come out of that Crunk gym. I mean, they've all went there and got revamped. Lewis, the Klitschko's. I mean, so Fury moseyed his ass over there before everybody. But I really, what's funny is Emmanuel Stewart, for like I said, that style would be good for AJ. Like I said, he got fight in him. I just hate that he got thrown into that situation where it's just like, I don't know if he's ever recovered from it. It just, and then like say you bring Robert Garcia in there, and I'm like, okay, he sounds great, but let's be honest, Robert Garcia has nobody over 150 pounds that's done anything. So it's like, why is you bringing this dude? He doesn't even understand the gas tank. He doesn't even understand that heavyweights train differently. Like they don't. Like people make jokes about heavyweights saying they don't run. There's a reason they don't run. You can't be 250 pounds jogging and burning up your knees. You can't do it. It's just different. So I don't, like I said, it was a bad pick, man.
AJ does run. He does do road work though.
No, I'm just saying it's completely different between AJ doing road work and like a Mikey Garcia.
Yeah, Mikey Garcia. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's two different worlds. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was never comfortable with the Mikey Garcia. Shouts out to Sporting Icons in the building. Sporting. If you can Sporting, you can jump on and give your point. I'd love to hear your point. So if you want, the link is pinned. If you can come through, because I was giving you shouts out because your commentaries, desecrating. You had to desecrate Tyson Fury about, the double standards. It's just fucking ridiculous, and what they're, trying to hound AJ and I ain't lying. I don't think he should have even apologized for his outbursts, because when he has he don't have no outbursts. He's like, for real, he's not a real person. He has an outburst. Oh, look at him. He's classless. Tyson Fury was in the south of France, fucking so drunk. Him and his friends running down an Uber taxi. The Uber taxi was like, I don't want to take you. Trying to drag open the door and like a big loud, hey! But everybody's like, over here, everyone's like, also Tyson Fury, ain't it so cute? He suffers from mental health. He's a character. We love it. Tyson Fury calls people pussies and this and that. Grown men, oh, you're a pussy. You're a this. You fucking wanker. And all of this. Oh, no, that's fine. It's just Tyson Fury, It's cute. It's sweet. No, there's too many double standards. Fuck you lot. Whatever. Yeah, it was a mad one that I did, but I was passionate. Fuck off. Hate these fucking belts now, because I gave Usyk props. It wasn't about losing. It was about the fact that you're just so deflated. I think you're so deflated, and the lack of respect. Like I get trolled on this level. Could you imagine being on that level of every time you open your DMs, that you don't even go in your DMs because they are just filled with thousands of people abusing you. Then you go on and all in your comments, all in your Instagram, on the outside, on the inside. Could you imagine that? Nah, mate, that does plague on anybody. Hey,
what sucks most about that is when your same assholes meet you in person, they want to shake your hand, take a picture.
Yeah. So, and then you saw him break down. I mean, that's just how human as it gets, to be honest, isn't it? So people was like, oh, that was just, ego. And there's just one rule for one and one rule for another. Tyson Fury is allowed to abscond, do what he wants, not show up to rematches, have to be brought into arbitration to honor rematches. It's just like he's just not of good character. But over here in good old Great Britain, he's the best thing at the minute since sliced bread of these new fans that have just been watching him since he only fought Wilder. They'd never watched Tyson Fury pre-Wilder fights. They're just new fans. They're just so. Yeah,
they ain't watching them now after.
They ain't watching him. Yeah, they're not really And he said that fight was, Tyson Fury was like, oh, that fight was the shitest fight. Oh, I beat both of you on the same night. Bars. Yeah, and does he remember his fight with Klitschko? How shit that fight was? Does anybody go back and watch that fight?
Fight was the boring. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I normally don't like to say boxing's boring, but that was the boringest. Tiptoeing, like they talk about AJ tipping around Ruiz in the next fight. I mean, no, there's no comparison to Fury in that Klitschko fight. That damn dude, I don't even think his feet touched the damn canvas. He was just moving so much. It was annoying. He was glitching and twitching at him, and I kind of just think that's why Vladimir Vladimir kind of lost, because he was like, "What the fuck?" He kind of just looking at him like he didn't know what to do. Like, nobody's ever just coming here doing all this twitching and jabbing occasionally. That was a bad fight. That wasn't nothing to be proud of. He won it, but I mean, please be quiet. If you think that fight is any comparison to what we saw on Saturday, I was about to say something out of character, but anyway, you're not very connected to reality.
Yeah, if you needed to, if you suffer from insomnia, watch Tyson Fury v Klitschko. Yeah, I've just blocked that fake sport.
Yeah, I was about to get him.
Yeah. It's not,
that's not the real one.
Yeah. I just realized because the real sporting icons has a wrench. So yeah,
right.
So, yeah, it's not. Yeah. So Lulu wasn't sporting icons, and at the end of the day, Lulu he wasn't laughing, and Karma, Lulu, why are you? Hang on, Lulu, you can be put in timeout because you've got some threats. You can't threaten nobody, not on this platform. Jano, hi Candies. She gave some smoke. On the day.
Hey Candice.
The motherfucking building. Yeah, Candice. I need to even listen back to my show because at that point I was you guys was chopping it up, so I just heard that through the headphones at some point because there was a lot of traffic going through back and forth, and I was hearing that. I was like, yeah, New York is in the house. Candice ain't playing. Yeah. Hang on, we've got a super chat. Okay, so thank you for dropping that $5 super chat. There is a difference. We knew about Fury's mental issues. We tried to tell you about AJ's fortitude since he had a panic attack before Ruiz. Okay. Have you ever seen Tyson Fury's documented paperwork from a licensed psychiatrist? Have you? I'll wait for you to reply. It's not trying to tell me nada. You come here to just be quite an annoying person. Like I don't need your super chats. Like there's not any amount of money that you can pay me to, withstand your annoyance. So if you're here to not talk about things in a correct and mature manner, you can leave. Don't come back. Zhu Wong, you, young, hi, she. Because I can get mad disrespectful. And you won't like it. Anyway, moving along swiftly. Zhu Wong. Yeah, what's good? We are all good, sis. Yeah, we just had a good time. We just had a good time the other night. And I was just saying that you cracked me the up. But yeah, so yeah, it's just and I'm one of the people like I'm getting flamed. I don't care. Like you see when I was saying Zhu Wong, leave me alone. You haven't answered the question. Have you seen the psychological evaluation? No, you can't. You can't remove super chats. Loke. No, you haven't. You skipped the question. Answer. You can't tell me about anybody's mental fortitude that decides to fight a top pound for pound king back to back when whoever you like hasn't. So who's the weak person? Juno. Ju Wang. I hate money. So you made me forget. So what was I just saying? I just was saying something.
The three hosts to train the thought off. Speaking of I'm gonna keep it a buck, so this probably why I haven't said nothing. I didn't watch the after fight shit. I watched a little bit of press thing where I seen, he was teared up. But I've decided, I thought I was gonna go back and watch. I decided not even to watch it because I don't want nothing to take away from a fight. I don't want to hear nothing about none of that bullshit. It was a good fight. I don't care about what happened afterwards. Like that's where we saw the character of these men. Well, because I hear so much different stuff, and it's like people can take it one way from another. So.
At the post-fight pressure, he didn't take it away from anything. He gave props. He just broke down. He broke down for a bit, and then got picked. They all clapped and gave AJ props. Usyk wasn't sitting with him at the time, and the thing that I noticed at the presser that guys, did you notice that? Did you notice that? So Robert Garcia or Angel Fernandez wasn't sitting with. They wasn't at the post-fight presser. They
Jump
wasn't
on the
there.
first plane home, collect that check, and dip.
Well, Fernandez lives in it. He's British, but yeah, but that's how unlike how you never see a fighter just have a fight and then their trainers are not there with them. It's Eddie Hearn.
That's weird. I've never heard of that before because you got to ask questions because then that always a question comes. So what was the game plan for the night, Robert? What did you guys work on in training camp to make it so they get? I mean, where is he at missing that conversation?
There was none. So I believe that maybe there could have been some kind of maybe there was some kind of fallout. Because I heard that I did hear that AJ was pretty fucked off with them for them telling him that he was winning. So he feels like they was duped again because no, they wasn't at the presser. It was just him and Eddie Hearn.
I guess that's what will add to the speculation then. If they're not in sight, that just feels.
Didn't you think that was weird? Yeah, but didn't you think that was? Didn't you think that was strange, or did it go amiss?
Yeah, it's strange for a trainer not to be there. Definitely, isn't it? That is very strange.
Very much.
Given like the kind of obviously the post fight with AJ's ramblings and stuff, all of his team were just kind of stood in the ring, not knowing what to do. You know, it's like none of them had really any authority over him at all. So
yeah.
If he's pissed off with them and they've gone, right, okay, then let's just get out of here and you do your own thing. See you later.
Yeah, but that's they could have just been at, unless AJ said don't even come to the post fight pressure. They should have been there.
Yeah, I agree.
They should have been there to take questions. You can't just go there like what King of King Boxing said. Basically, you just took your check and you like, all right, I clocked out. See you later. I'm gone. Nah, that's not cool. You're supposed to be, you know, because you guys were all there up to the whole run up. IFL seconds out, you know, boxing into boxing. You was there. You was taking all of these interviews, and then you know you're flying on PJs and everything, and now all of a sudden you take your money and you're like, yeah, I'm out. I'm not even coming to the post-fight presser. No. You know. So yeah. That's where we're at. Anyway, OLEKSANDR USYK, he's out. And OLEKSANDR USYK, he's so humble. He won't even do no private jet. He was just at the boarding thingy, you know, and they said someone, they had a clip of him and they was behind him in the queue and they went, oh, OLEKSANDR, how you feeling? And then he turns around with his two black eyes and he goes, I am very feel. Like, yeah, bless him. Like, yeah. And they was like, yeah, shouts out to you. He's still got a sense of, I always like OLEKSANDR USYK though. Like, he's got a strangeness about him, but I've always thought he's like a nice guy. I don't have any. Right. I am very feel. That was quite funny. Yeah, because he's realised that doesn't make any sense anymore since the last time he said it. So when they said how you feeling, that was his reply. But the two, like, he looked like a little raccoon because they were perfectly all blackened around there, both like that. And he's there. So, and I'm just thinking, he's a warrior, mate. He just didn't even look like, he didn't even wear shades. There was no, it was just the two black eyes. Like, yeah. So shout out to OLEKSANDR USYK. Let's see if we get undisputed. We would like to somehow, some way. But moving along, if OLEKSANDR USYK doesn't get Tyson Fury, he says that he will retire. What up, Steve? He said he will retire. So, yeah, Marlo.
I think I saw somewhere earlier Frank Warren pretty much said we're going to make that fight happen. I mean, he's going to say that, isn't he? But
Yeah.
You'd
But
think
isn't Tyson Fury out of the contract? He's out of the contract with Frank. So how? So what? What? How are they? Are they just going to sign back in for him to do this? Are they? Because where's the money going to come from? I mean, his last fight under contract with Bob and Frank was Dillian White, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah. But I saw an article yesterday, earlier, that it could. See, I think that that fight was already planned. Like, it was in contention, based in contention. It was already something that was talked about. It was only, they just needed to wait for the winner of the Saturday fight. So that's probably something, huh?
Which for the what fight?
That between Usyk and management or promoter and Bob, I think that was already discussed.
So
It was just contingent.
So Bob
it was
will
contingent. It was contingent. Wait a minute, we both saying the same thing. It was contingent on the winner of the Saturday fight. Because they already talking about it could possibly be in Saudi Arabia.
What I'm saying is that Tyson Fury's out of contract. So our team Bob going to do this on a one fight deal? Because
maybe it's a one-off, yeah.
Because when Bob Arum was asked last week about Tyson Fury and going forward, Bob said he's nothing to do with Tyson Fury and that who he's solely with, kind of like a no, kind of like with an advisory independent. He named the names. He said, "But I'm not with Tyson Fury." So that was last week, Bob. But he said we're out of contract now. So
yeah, but I just saw the other day an article that said that he's trying to work on, work with them to get him in the country.
Yeah, I saw
USA.
that.
Yeah, so I don't know what to totally,
Yeah, I saw that as well.
Mm-hmm.
I am
so
ready feel. We've got Alexander Usyk in the building. What up, Alexander? You guys are so funny with the names and the avatars. So you come up with Hap in the building. What up, Hap? We have King TJ in the building. TJ.
Hey.
Yeah.
TJ and Hat.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with them. And also, okay, so anyway, so what we saw with Ergovic and Zhile Zhang, man, Zhile Zhang really did get robbed. So he did. He should have won that. Anyone agree?
Yeah, that wasn't even close. I don't know what the damn. Like I said, Rob with no ski mask just walked in and took the money.
I don't want to say it was Rob, but it was. I felt like Zhile won too, but then it was parts later on where Ergovic was coming back, but Ergovic just wasn't in it. But I do agree with y'all, Zhile. I think
Zhile edged it. And he edged it.
Yeah,
Zhile edged it. He did. That was really bad for him with Ergovic. I know his father had died, and I know X, Y, Z, and that. But that's still, we're just talking about, that's still a bad showing. Maybe it would have felt better to just postpone the fight. Why are people just sometimes people postpone the fights for things that that are quite, you don't really need to or whatever. And then, for things that you really should maybe just postpone stuff about, postpone it and put it back, so I don't know. Our money, you had it as a draw. Did you?
But
And I
it can't be a draw, regardless if you agree with the knockdown or not. But one of them judges had to fight 8-4, which is ridiculous. There's no way that fight. So even let's say you had a draw 6-5, and you can disagree with, but it's a knockdown. Scored as a knockdown. Zhang wins the fight. It's 114, 113. So there's no. I mean, excuse me. Yeah, that's right. I was messing that
Yeah.
up. But there's no way you can sit there and think that Hovovich won. I mean, if they somehow figured out a draw, it was going to be a split decision either way. But like I said, all three of the judges had him, and with him like having like a 3-4 round margin, that's ridiculous.
I know. I give up on these judges, mate. I give up. And then we had also Navarrete and Baez.
Yeah, yeah.
That was
I
a
saw
good
that.
fight.
Yeah.
That was a
Yeah,
good
it was.
fight. That was a
Yeah.
really good fight. That was tough for Navarrete. They was going at it until he lands that body shot. Do justice, couldn't recover. But that was a very close and competitive fight up until the knockout.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And what's Navarrete fighting at? What weight?
126.
126. So him fighting Shakur, is he ready to step up to move up to 130? He better do that quick because I mean Shakur's not even going to be staying at 130. He'll be moving up soonish, won't it? So I'd like to see that fight.
Bigger than him too.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, he's a what?
I think they're about the same height. I don't think he's bigger than him.
No. I mean, he's just mass. You could tell he's bigger.
Well, I want to say this: in that last Shakir fight, that wasn't muscle. He had a little extra fluff on him to deal with the pressure that Valdez was going to bring, but he's not hurting to make 130. He's making that 130 easy.
Right.
So,
you reckon?
Yeah, the reason that I seen that they're trying to put, if you like I said, if you look back on him, he's not that he's not like I say he's not hurting making 130. It's not like he's struggling or anything. He can make 130. The only reason they're trying to slide him to 135 because they feel like ain't nobody for him to fight at 130.
Yeah, because Bob won't make for him to do the road to undisputed at 130 because Bob's just being a super bloody hater. Doesn't want to make Bob's just ridiculous for boxing.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's just gone ridiculous for boxing. Fight score, you've dropped out. Don't know if you dropped out on purpose.
Just think of how many fights he didn't like Bob Arum. I mean, it really leads me to believe that he was holding Crawford back. He held him back on several fights. Now he's trying to do the thing to Shakir. It's like, what the hell?
It's just like history repeating itself, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. He better. Bob, I can't. High bold, more like Baez was going at Navarrete. I saw them both. I saw them both slugging it out. To be honest, they were slugging it out. But yeah, one would have the upper hand at one point, and then the other one would have the. It was pretty much swinging back and forth. Like it was a great fight. Ergovic had some weird body language after getting tagged. Yeah, that walk did not. Right. Did respond well though. Not sure what you're saying at the end. But he had to jump out, LadyChann. Thanks for having me on. You are most welcome. Shouts out to Fight Score in the season. Fight Night Scores. Head over to Fight Night Scores and subscribe. Thank you. And you are always welcome on the panel as well. Thank you for coming through. Yeah,
I agree with people saying Hergovich should have pulled out. Like, I see a couple people in the chat saying that. But you guys got to understand that stage, man. Like, you don't get opportunities like that to see that many eyes on you. I don't know. Maybe that was part of the motivation of keeping him in there. But he was not right. He ain't had no business being in a ring.
Maybe money. You need the money to pay some bills as well.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
If your father's died, you never know, you may have to cover some funeral costs and they're expensive unless someone's got the funeral plan. There's things that you could, it could be anything. Things
might have been in the hospital for a period of time too. And, and
medical bills. So there's could be all factors still, man. But yeah, it was just a really really bad showing of the dude. It was really bad. I'll be back again. You are more than welcome. Thank you. I hope so. Have a good evening as well. Who else was we gonna talk about? Those were the what other fights? There was a Showtime card, wasn't there? But I couldn't see
Omar
it.
Lipinets and Omar
Figueroa.
Figueroa.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
lot told me about that. So Omar Figueroa, he got stopped, didn't he? And he got dropped, and then
Yeah.
quit, and then his team quit on the stool for him.
I
Yeah,
seen
it was-
that coming
it
too,
was a
man.
bad
I
beat.
told everybody that he wasn't just pissed about Broner pulling out. That Lipinets fight is way harder. Like Lipinets is not a dude you want to be scrapping with. Lipinets come in, he's gonna take full advantage of his opportunity. I know he got some losses and been knocked out before, but I mean he got some he got knocked out by Boots Ennis. I'm sorry. Figueroa ain't no Boots Ennis. So I mean I seen it coming. I didn't expect the stoppage. I picked, I thought Lipinets was gonna win, but I didn't think he was gonna knock him out.
Yeah.
I picked Omar.
I picked Lipinets.
But you know what?
I picked.
But I'm picking Omar based on the old Omar.
Yeah, he's been.
And not looking at him now. Yeah.
Now, yeah, because he's been quite. He's been inactive, hasn't he? Yeah. So yeah, I thought when I saw the replacement and him like saying anyway we prepared for Broner to drop out and Lipinets is I knew then you're not winning this one. For the Broner one I would have picked Omar to probably beat Broner to be honest. But you never know though, that would have been 50-50 at that time at that point. But I mean as soon as I saw it was replaced with Lipinets I was like no, Lipinets is beating him. But I thought it'd go the distance. Yeah. So I couldn't get to watch yeah.
Didn't he retire that night?
Did he? I don't know. Did he retire? King of Kings.
Yeah, he went through that whole speech, but you never know with that. People
Did he
say
I'm retiring? Did he say I'm retiring though?
He kind of implied that he needed to stop boxing. But but I'm just gonna be honest, like a lot of these dudes when they lose, they start going through this whole gamut. Like it's like, damn, just say, hey, they just don't understand the tactic of saying, hey man, it wasn't my night. He was the better man, I took the L, but now they gotta go through this whole dissertation of whatever the hell's going on in their life is stupid. Like he lost. Like I mean, this like
right.
It's just like you gotta stop. Like if you are prepared for Lipinets, you need to prepare again. Cause that was a bad I knew that was gonna happen, but like I said, getting knocked out like that, I was like, damn. Maybe he just doesn't have the punch resistance for his fighting style. That's not good at all.
No. Yeah,
he didn't get knocked out. They just didn't come out the corner.
Well, technical knockout.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're right. Okay.
And he got put on his ass.
You're right.
Yeah, which is even worse for a pressure fire than just not get out the chair. Like, I'm sorry.
Then you quit on the team. Yeah, nah, you need to get out. Yeah. That's a bit, maybe it's time, maybe he does hang it up. if you're a pressure fighter and exactly, you coming forward, you get dropped, then your team has to retire you from the fight. It's just like, not the greatest of looks, but I don't think his punch resistance is what it used to be. So it's getting on, and that inactivity can do that as well. Marlo Diggs, question: all the top heavyweights are older. Is Frank Sanchez the future? I'm not really into Frank Sanchez. I mean, Cuban boxer that says he's 27, which I doubt. But I find him not fan friendly to watch. I mean, how he dealt with F.A. Jugbar was, got him out of there. But I mean, I just thought it was boring. I'm not really into Frank Sanchez. You guys?
Oh yeah, I like him. Yeah, I like him. I love the Cube. I love him. I mean, I gotta watch more of his fights. I love Rigondeaux when he was fighting. Like some people didn't like him. I like Luis Ortiz. I think he can fight, and I like Lara.
Yeah,
Frank Sanchez is pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I hate to do it, but I won't keep it a buck. I have never watched Frank Sanchez fight.
Yeah, you're not missing much. You're
I
not
was gonna
missing much.
watch the Jabba fight, but it's just like
Right.
I just
I've watched him maybe twice. I've only seen 2 fights of his, and you're not missing. Honestly, unless you're. It's not that because it's Cuban style. It's just he just doesn't have the flair. He's boring. To me, it's just boring. I mean, like people said Floyd's boring. To me, he wasn't. You know, people say Shakur's boring. Not to me, he's not really is. But I mean, I just don't find Frank Sanchez that great to. I don't know.
yeah. People say Floyd's boring. That's just bullshit. Because when you're at a fight and people are like, "Ooh, ah," when you go
Yeah.
somewhere and somebody
Right.
crowds it starts cheering for you by the end of the fight, ain't nothing boring about that. Like you said, it's a
Right.
difference between the reason they say Floyd was boring because you knew he was going to win. It wasn't like no suspense in the fight.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, well, he's winning again.
Right.
You get around 5 or 6, you're like, oh, it's over.
Yeah, it's over. He's winning. It's gonna be. Yeah, I know. I just
So
boring.
I got a question. So, like, just say like a fighter like Lomachenko or even Usyk, like people will give them more credit. Is it because of they more offensive or they still have defense? But what I'm saying is you just think that people don't like defensive fighters? Is that what it is?
No, I just think they've got more of a pretty style to it though. It's almost kind of it's like dancing. They're very rhythmic,
Right.
rhythmic, but also like with fluid. It's mad. They pull out
Right.
moves and angles that you're like, even Bud. Sometimes when you see Bud, like you wouldn't say Bud's a slick fighter, but he just angles and stuff that you're almost like,
hmm
like it's different.
Because
It's
I,
different.
because I was,
It's different.
I love the old Rigo.
Yeah, people said
You
that
have
he
to
was boring.
like Rigo was aesthetically beautiful to watch,
Yeah, but
but
some
people
people said
don't
he was
give him.
yeah, because he
Yeah,
ran.
but
They
people don't.
or,
No, he didn't run. That was towards the end.
no,
But
I'm saying
Rigo wasn't
people.
really a runner
No,
though.
I'm saying people said he did because he was
Yeah,
always defense. I mean, his defense
yeah,
was on the back foot. So some people
yeah.
said he was boring. Some people say he ran. Some people say I've heard them. I don't know. I don't find watching Lomachenko boring. I don't find watching Usyk boring yet. No, not yet.
Yeah.
Not saying that can't. I'm not saying that can't change. It could change.
Right.
I think Frank Sanchez for me is boring. King of Kings is definitely now not going to check him out because of. But you should King so you can see and get your own opinion and.
I like I said, I think I might have watched partial highlights of something, but I like I said, if you put a picture of him right now, I wouldn't even know who he was. I mean, I know who he was. I know who he is by people talking
Yeah.
about him, but
Let me show
I'm just
you it.
not
You
interested.
tell me if this dude is 27. You're gonna laugh.
Marlo, if that's the case, Roberto Duran was, but I still respect him. He's a good fighter. Respect Rigo, the double gold medalist as well.
Yeah, I like
And
him.
Bob Arum always shitted on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rigo when he beat the Filipino Flash, that was his best moment. He was vulnerable. Like you could drop Rigo, because he did engage. That's why you were able to hit him clean, and he has not a bunch of knockdowns in his where he's been knocked down. But he did I can't even think Filipino Flash. I keep whatever.
Donaire.
Donaire. He did Donaire bad, and that's when Donaire was at the height of his power. Like it was so bad, it was
Yeah.
so dominant at the end of the fight when Donaire tried to pull the shoulder excuse, the crowd started booing him, booed him out the building almost.
Yeah,
So
I remember.
like,
Rigo
nah,
should have
cut that
stayed in
bullshit out. You
Japan
got your
because in
ass whooped.
Japan they appreciated Rigo.
Tell
But
me,
Rigo, man, he was old.
tell me, yeah. Tell me if he's. Now they've. How's he bumped up from 27 to 30? He was 27 last year. Am I lying? He was 27 last year.
They count a little differently
Was
over there.
He
He was
looked a little
27.
bit older than that, but
When you hit your
Listen,
25th birthday, they take 10 years off, and then when you hit your 25th birthday again, they add 5 years.
yeah, this dude is
That
not
dude is
that.
like that dude's like 34, 35.
Now he's about 35, 36. This dude is no. Last year, I swear to you, he was 27. They've changed this and thought, you know what, we got to make it look a bit more thingy. I swear he was 27 last year. Box rec with the new box rec now, they've made his age 30. There's no way I've missed. I didn't know him 3 years ago. I didn't. He was 27. We was just driving on him like literally last year for being 20. I would think he'd be 28 now. Look, this is not no 30-year-old dude. But you know, the Cubans, they do that though. I mean, look at Ortiz. He ain't no 43, is he? So, and who else? Who else has got another age? Who else was? How old's Rigo, sis?
I don't know. He's in his 40s, but they say he's older, so I really don't know. Like
probably about 50.
Yeah, irregardless of what the guys say in the chat, I still, respect Rigo.
Yeah, I like
Rigo had it hard. Nobody really loves Rigo.
No, yes, a whole division of champions basically moved up to avoid him. I know my dude in the chat saying, "Oh, he quit and whatever." Look, man, he didn't have no business fighting that fight. Even Lomachenko didn't even really want that fight because he knew it was a mismatch. He knew it. Like Lomachenko, like the funny part is this is the thing, like people hate Lomachenko or whatever, but if you listen to Lomachenko when he honestly allowed to talk, he speaks about boxing. Like when they were like, "Oh, Lomachenko's better than Floyd Mayweather." Lomachenko said, like, man, me and Floyd, but if I was around with Floyd time, he would have watched me. He has reality in his mind. He understands that Rigo is really a 118 pounder, and he had to get a fight because he hadn't been doing shit, and he took an L.
Right.
I don't like the quitting. I was pissed off. I called the boxing boys and cussed and screamed and was mad about that shit. But it's just like it. Now that I've matured a little, I understand. But at the same time, yeah, I hate quitting. But let's be real with it now.
His hand blew up or something. I remember he broke his knuckles or something. Irregardless whether he quit or not, guess what? Yeah. It's life. I'm gonna move on. They say that about no moms, but I still respect Roberto Duran. Because it's Roberto Duran, people are still not they're not respecting this man as a double gold medal. He had to sell his gold medals. He was 4.
Who, Roberto Duran?
I'm talking about Rigo. No, I'm using it as an example of people respect Roberto Duran. It was no mas. Mm-hmm. He just, at that moment, he just couldn't keep up or whatever. He wasn't the same Roberto in the second fight that he was in the first fight with Sugar Ray Robinson. Leonard. But that's all I'm saying. But people still respect Roberto because Roberto came back and redeemed himself. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, Rigo really couldn't do that.
He was at the fight on Saturday, Roberto Duran, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really there. We got a super chat. Shouts out to AJ all day for dropping that $1.99 on your girl. Thank you, AJ. Massively appreciated. Where
Look,
was you?
I'm no longer addressing you. Like I said, I respect Rigo, and if you don't, that's fine.
Shouts out to...
I don't owe you no explanations.
USA Boxing. Shouts out to you, Mally Mal in the building. Yeah, can you guys hit that like button, please? Hit the like button. I would appreciate it because you guys really are stingy with hitting the like buttons. But it's cool. They say Floyd was boring. Alexander Usyk says they say Floyd was boring because no one could beat his style and he could back his talk. Yeah, that's why they was pissed off because they knew like what King of King Boxing said. They knew he was gonna win. He talked all his talk, but he walked all the walk. Did you see him on Instagram? He was on Instagram today at the roller.
I don't have Instagram.
Yeah, I was dying. Like Floyd is always Floyd always be doing the most. He's roller skating. Like he can roller skate good. He's going in between people. I was like, yeah. Floyd's gonna be forever young, isn't it? He's hanging in there. He's like, I will never be old, ever. Granddaddy or not, I will not be old. Yeah. So he was having a good time. That was Instagram. I was dying. Who else was Luis Ortiz was the other questionable age heavyweight. Yeah, he's about 50. Bold said 41. I think that's for Rigo.
Yeah,
It's
he's
Rigo.
talking
I
about
think
Rigo.
Rigo's 41. Yeah, Rigo 41.
Lara got a young look. He still look young.
I think Lara. How old's Lara? About 37.
No, I think Laura's older than that. Or he just seemed like
Yeah,
he'd been around forever.
He's he might be near to 40. Ain't he really near to 40? Right. There's Landy Lara.
I think he is 40.
He's 40, isn't it? Hmm. Yeah, I think he is 40. See if it comes up.
Look young.
A little bit. He does. Damn. I must be spelling his name wrong. I must be spelling his name wrong on the box rec. Because on box rec, if you even spell it a little bit wrong, do you know what I mean? They just go on like you've committed a crime, and they're like, "Oh, is that who you're talking
Yeah,
about?"
you're right about that.
Yeah, it's so annoying. It's so annoying. So you just got you're better off with just doing Google. They're more forgiving. Let me see. It is Landy Lara. See, Google's your best friend. He is 39. Yeah. Yeah, he got a young face. You want to see it? Yeah, he has got a young face. Let me just. His face is. So is he still with Ronnie Shields still then? Because I thought he wasn't with Uncle Ronnie anymore, and people were like, yeah, someone said he was still with Uncle Ron. Is he? He's not, is he?
No, I don't think he with him no more. I have to
No,
look at his last fight.
Ron wasn't
That's
there.
how I'll know.
He wasn't there. Uncle Ronnie wasn't there. Definitely. Because he would have we've spoken about him on the show. He wasn't that. He's not with him anymore. Someone was like, "Yeah, he is, but he's not." Yeah, he looked younger. How? Yeah, yeah. He looks the opposite. He looks younger than his age. Yeah, for sure. Interesting. Okay, so stop sharing. Irislandi. Yeah, that was the spelling. 39 big boys, bold and understand. Sorry, I didn't even see that. Yeah, you always hit the like on the way out. Any more questions? Hit the like, become a member. He did not break his hand on anything, Lisa.
What
Come on.
BS about his hand? He did. He was showing his hands and they swelled up. He did.
I don't know.
I remember that fight with him and Loma.
Oh yeah, he is. He's with that guy. He's with Salas.
Okay.
No, it's Salah. Is that the one? No, Joe Joyce's coach. That's it. Right. His name is Ismail Salas. Salas.
Yeah. I never said he broke. I thought he hurt his knuckles or broke it or something. Something happened to his hand in that fight. But irregardless, he like a lot of people say, he stopped, he quit or whatever.
Yeah.
Fine, but that doesn't. I'm not gonna still not dislike a guy or not hate him or whatever. But I'm saying, unfortunately, he wasn't able to really redeem himself much after that. Like because he was older. Like at least like Roberto Duran was able to come back and beat like people like Iran Barkley and still have Roberto's an ATG, you know what I mean? But
He's
I'm
got
just
the same
saying,
coach as Ugas.
yeah.
Ugas is Ugas is Ismail Salas. Oh, I don't know because you're confusing me. Ismail Salas is the other Cuban guy.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's
Ishmael Salas.
not. Yes, yeah. And yeah, I think we've gone through everything, to be honest, already. We kept it tidy at 1 minute, 1 hour and 53. Give us a look at us. Give us a round of applause. A bitch can go to bed at normal time. No. So, I would like to thank.
Oh, AJ came in.
Sis, we just did his super chat.
Yeah, I didn't hear the super chat.
Okay. So yeah, shouts out to Shelton Moore in the building. Shouts out to Sister Bells in the building. Shouts out to Fight Score in the building. Fight Night Score in the building. Subscribe. Shouts out to King of King Boxing in the building. Thank you for coming through. Shouts out to who else was on the panel? Oh yeah, well we had Rick Glazer for 1 minute technical difficulties. We'll get him back. We'll do another day. I'll reschedule after this and get him back on so we can get his take on what's going on and what he saw at XYZ. Would like to hear his take. Who else was on the panel? Who else was on there? Because I always forget someone. Swab, yeah, that was it. Thanks in the building. Okay. So, all right. Guys, you can. I'll say bye to everyone. Marlo Diggs in the building. Bold and Understanding in the building. Ahmed in the building. Dr. P in the building. Stephen in the building. Mark Nash in the building. Fight Night Scores in the building. AJ All Day in the building. New Media Today USA Boxing in the building. Who else was in the building? Lisa T in the building. Candice in the building. Our Money in the building. Our Money. Who else is in the building? Woody Woodpecker in the building. What up, Woody? Haven't seen you for a while. LOC Lock in the building. Hap in the building. King TJ in the building. Who else is in the building? Zhu Wai Yang. Sorry, I always get your name wrong. But hey. Roland Curtis in the building. Who else was in there? We got Bold. UGC Flame. Black was in the building. Who else is in the building? Dino G was in the building. Thank you for coming through. Murat was in the building. Exclusive News Insider in the building. Roverless in the building. Shelton Moore, King Moore, Love You Shelton was in the building. Big Billy in the building. Miss Ringside in the building. Who else? Millennium Jazz Music in the building. I should have opened phone lines. I got lazy. I'll do it next week. We can do a phone in for the phone-in crew. And just checking, I think that is that. So you know how we sign off. Anyway, I'm gone. Hey girl, it's LadyChann rep nonetheless. Come box with Chan. Gyan. Ra. I'm going to bed. LadyChann has left the building. Gyan. LadyChann. Fight.